Ibadan a major drug spot? Because when you get from here to even Ikoyi, you won't see on the road. It's only that spot that you see a major checkpoint. Yes. Is Ibadan a major drug spot? Or is it because it's a gateway
Transit.
And that's why you usually get
from the ports, from the borders,
which border?
from the airport, Lagos. From here, it is transit to Abuja. Abuja to other parts of the north. I worked in the north before. And a lot of cannabis farmlands, once they harvest here, they move up north from there to neighboring countries. So that's the major problem. Another factor is, if you don't checkmate it, or you checkmate it, you prevent them from taking it to those various, they will create local markets. So the problem, there will be a surge within Ibadan. Instead of drugs that will have been taken out, but because of the activities of NDLEA, they will choose to retain it, and it will now increase the demand because they already stay supply, because the drug do not leave. Okay. That's the truth. That's the truth. So Ibadan is big, and we're talking about human beings, especially the youths, the vulnerables. You made mention of secondary school children. The major factor, yes, availability of the drugs, peer pressure influence. And there's something we are shying away from. Most of these students, they don't take the conventional drugs.
What is that conventional?
The drugs that are certified by UNODC, United Nations Office of Drug and Crime. So they take what we refer to as unconventional drugs. Tramadol is a psychotropic substance. Unconventional, like things that are not been certified, but has addictive properties. It has addictive properties. For example, inhalants, solvents, petrol, nail polish remover, glue.
That's not rampant around this area. Or is it?
Yeah, you said it.
In this area, we are a bit about.
You know why? It's easy to access. And there's no law that criminalizes the action. No law. Even if any of them is arrested, an adult is arrested abusing such, there's nothing you can do than to counsel and rehabilitate. That's all. That's the truth.
So now, is there any efforts to enact the appropriate laws?
The problem is, Nigeria belongs to the Community of Nations. And when we talk about drugs generally, there are two classifications. We talk about narcotics generally and psychotropic substances. These drugs are covered by international conventions. We have the United Nations Convention on the Eradication of Narcotics, 1961. The protocol was amended in 1971. And the most comprehensive that included a lot of drugs that we see now is the one of 1988, the Vienna Convention, on one hand. Now, when we now talk about psychotropic substances, some, due to modernity and our porous borders, these drugs comes into Nigeria. Some of these drugs are used for therapeutic purposes, for researches, for treatments in the hospitals. They are controlled drugs, but subject to abuse. For example, depressants, tranquilizers, Libron, Lexotan, and the rest. But they're in the hospitals. Let me shock you. When I was in Kebbi State, I rehabilitated a medical doctor. A medical doctor. He was with me for 6 months. How did he get involved in drugs? The drug that would have been used for medical purpose, he abused it and he got hooked on it. So nobody's above it. But it's a bad sign or signal. Children, vulnerable children, getting more and more involved. Peer pressure influence. And that's one of the reasons why we are out on the issue of sensitization. Most of the secondary schools, we go. The last one we did was at Arubeta. What do you call that place? The last sensitization we did, secondary school. Which school is that? Arubeta. We went. So we're going like that. Even because the mandate of the agency is on two major strategies: reduction of supply and drug demand reduction. And that's one of the reasons why we are here. So that you help us to pass information to the general public. By so doing, one or two persons may choose to stop the indulgence of drug use. And that's why it's very, very important to partner with us. Because, let me be very frank, the issue of sensitization, we don't joke with it. Because prevention is cheaper and better than cure. And that's why we don't joke with it. You said something about our men with long guns and everything. That's supply reduction. They are trying to cut supply so that the thing doesn't go to areas. Imagine us not being around for a long while. The thing will have access. The mere fact that they are on the road there, people that has drugs that want to distribute, they will be scared. Some will never bring it NDLEA on the road. If they are arrested, that's the end of it. So it's very, very important that we partner, especially on the issue of information, passing the right information and facts about drug abuse. I want to say something, sir, if you permit me, on the issue of the secondary school. I did a documentary with the NTA Silver Beds. I think that was 2021. So I was state commander then. About drug activities.
Commander where?
Delta. Let me be very frank with you, sir. We went around, we had this collaboration with the state government and the Ministry of Education. I'm sure that is in place here as well, because I'm just assuming duty. The state command that is the main organ on ground. I'm sure they are doing that. Now we went around almost 80-something schools because we're trying to catch them young, trying to disabuse their minds, to the extent that we pushed for the inclusion of drug education in the school curriculum. So we are doing a lot of things. We don't not arrest. No. It's in the past, long time, maybe some like 20 years back. We talk about arrest. We give both reducing drug and supply. We give it balanced attention. So,
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I have to follow what he said about the sports near good marriage. You've explained that it is to control supply. But it is known to almost everybody in Southwest that the cultivation of cannabis, for instance, is ongoing. And you control supply from Lagos. That's all. So what do you do about it? What are you doing about it? What do you plan to do about the supply from Lagos?
Let me. You see, this terrain, I'm used to it very well. some years back, as far back as 2012, I was in charge of Operation Osun. The major farms is the forest in Osun and Ibadan. But the storage is in Ibadan. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm saying it. To the extent that UNDC officials were here in the White Man, went to a lot of farms, destroyed it. The people were arrested. How do they told us that they are modus operandi. It's easier here to stop than where it is planted. Nobody will believe there's a warehouse in a place like Ibadan because most of the farmlands we destroy are not here. But this is where they stop. In much later, in the dead hours of the night, they trafficked these drugs to the far north. From the far north, well, these drugs are not they are not meant for consumption here. They're not. They're not. Some are for some countries. So, and like the psychotropic substance, we don't produce it. Cocaine, Nigeria doesn't produce cocaine. It's from South America. How can you drug come from South America to Ibadan? It's through the road. The airports, the seaports, the international border. And that's it's just that I will have come with the state commander, will have given you figure of arrests made at that spot.
That's good,
yes.
The express.
Yes. If we're not making arrests from that spot, we won't go there. Because we are mandated to performance. How do you appraise your command? It's based on arrest and seizure and convictions you secure. And that's one of the reasons why you see that spot. You know, maybe I will ask the commander to send me figures, statistics, pictures of arrests made from there so that you know that something is going on, not just they're just there. Sincerely speaking, we know generally, when you are trying to enforce the law, the inconvenience attached. But we need to. You made mention about the vulnerables, the youths.
Yes.
We need to. We need to sanitize the society. We need to salvage the situation. We need to mortgage our future. Let me say this. Drug is the worst enemy anyone can have. It's the worst. If you visit rehabilitation center, you agree with me. Because drug users are never and will never be productive. To avoid road crashes on our roads, you must stop drug abuse. You must. Students, let me tell you, because of modernity, we're having new trends. Yahoo boys, free money. And when you have free money, you can buy some, expensive drugs to take. I'm sure you know about cough syrup with codeine.
Yeah.
You know what led to the prohibition, the BBC documentary report some years back. Cough syrup with codeine is for medical purpose. If you have cough, you can recommend, the medical personnel can recommend it to the doctor, say, go and take this, go and do this. But they abuse it. You do know how they abuse it?
I don't.
You have to take. Yes. The doctor will say, take 1 spoon a day. But when they go to the pharmacy or wherever they buy it, they open the whole thing. And once. And someone will take up to 4 or 5 in a day. Tell me the organs and the tissue, won't they be affected? We're having problems of kidney failure. What causes it? What do you think causes it? Alcohol, even alcohol. Alcohol is drugs. It's a depressant. And depending on the quantity taken, it can reverse, become a stimulant.
Yes.
So alcohol is drugs because it exerts pressure by depressing the central nervous system. And it causes lack of coordination, what we refer as hallucination. Hallucination in the sense that the user will not be able to coordinate between time, space, and distance. And that's why most often you see them inside water. Why? They believe they are in the comfort of their home. But the law, the society accepts alcohol as a gateway drugs. Gateway drugs. Because it prepares the user for the user to take stronger drugs. It will get to a time, the body will build tolerance. The tissue will build tolerance. It's like somebody who is used to eating amala, for example, and later do not say amala to eat, there will be problem. There will be problem. That's how drug is. Now, alcohol is what we take. Even cola nut. I'm sure you say cola nut cannot be drugs. Cola nut is drugs.
It's
Caffeine.
yes.
But cola nut is our cultural identity. There is no ceremony that goes by that cola nut libation that you will not use a cola nut. And we produce it in the southwest. Do you know people that cherish it most? The Igbos. And the Hausas, they not consume it more. So,
There
it's
is no law
not-
against cola.
No.
Why is there no law against
How
cola?
can that be?
It's a stimulant.
No, they are-
It's like you
they are
taking
giving
coffee,
a stimulant.
for example, coffee. You do take coffee, tea. It's socially. You know, I was telling you something when you made mention about secondary school. I said that most of them are now indulging in unconventional drugs. You see, there's a plant that we refer to as zegemi. Zegemi. You wouldn't know that. It's zegemi. It's very, very potent. Yes.
Is it?
But it's not here, but it's in the north. It's in the north. But the problem is, it can be transported here. It can be transported here. And now, these Zegemi plants, cannabis sativa, which refer to Igbo, because of the THC9, tetrahydrocannabinol 9, it has over 600 chemical compounds, but the active is the THC, and that's what causes hallucination. The abuse, the modern trend is not to smoke it. No, they lace it with cookies,
Yeah. Cake too.
cake, all manner of things now.
Chocomilo.
And there's what we call, what do you call it? In the Niger Delta area, they soak this cannabis in gin, ethanol, with snake, so that the venom in the snake moves, and they take it. Now tell me, if you arrest someone, now the extracts, the leaf, has been removed. So the active ingredient has diffused into it, in the ethanol, is it not so? Now when you arrest such a person, how do you prosecute? Which evidence will you present before the court? You said there's a go inside. Where is the go? So there are a lot of other things our children are taking. And that is why I want to advise at this junction that parents should try as much as possible to check on their words. It's very important. Know who your words are mixing or relating with. 2, carry out sudden inspection of their rooms. Just go to their, maybe you don't visit them, most often maybe you walk on it tonight, no time, to their rooms. Once you identify that there is a particular culture they have started imbibing, you see somebody carrying ragamuffin, muffler, doing dreadlock like Yahoo boys, you need to check on them. Because when the problem comes, you will not be able to manage it. You will not be able to manage it. A lot of youth have died because of premature death, because of on the account of drug abuse. And that's why we've taken upon ourselves that we must sensitize, conscientize the minds of the general public about the issue of drug abuse. Not only just arresting. Because when we arrest, definitely once a prima facie case is established, they are going in for it. But the users who are the victims. And if you go by the United Nations, United Nations protocol on the eradication of narcotic drugs, basically it states that they are victims, the users. They need our love, care, and attention, and after service. That's after rehabilitation. We keep on checking on them so that they don't relapse. So it's very, very important. And that's why I know this the medium to disseminate this information. That's why I thought it wise and proper that we have to come here.
I think you have some words for those who plant in their hands.
For those who plant, yes, once the long arm of the law catches any of them, they are going in for it. There's no mercy when it comes to that, because let me tell you one thing from experience, from most of them, they don't use it, they don't take it, they sell it, they do it, they plant it, they do, but they don't use it. Yes, some don't. You know why? They know the inherent dangers in indulging in drugs. Do you know why? If they indulge in it, drug abuse makes one to be useless. Look at those area boys. They are useless. Some of them will just, after taking, will just lie down there like that.
Yes, sir. Just one question before we.
Yes.
Comparatively, sir, you with all the experiences, what would you say is the rate of success you have seen over the years? Because some of the things you read are that in the north it's more prevalent in the north than some areas in the south and so on. But from your own experience, what are those successes you say you can point to, and in terms of what you have been doing? Because it will also give courage to
If I dive into the macro level, taking my command, which is Oyo and Osun, the zone and the state commands, we are trying our best. I will tell you that we are on top of the situation. If you will visit our office and probably visit any of the federal high courts around, then you know what we are doing. If we don't blow out our trumpets, you will not hear the. Sincerely speaking, on the issue of our efforts, there's a national survey conducted in 2018 by the European Union and the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, where statistics, I call them an empirical, results, where we were made to know that 14.3% of the population indulge in drugs. That's around 44. Around 44.
The Nigerian population.
Yes.
It's all in all types of drugs.
All types of drugs. But there's something. There are different types of drugs. We have narcotic, we have stimulant, we have depressant, we have inhalants and solvents.
So which one?
No, all. Yes. We have what we call anabolic steroids. The one used by sportsmen and women. Because most of our footballers, thank God we have match today. That's why they go for test. A lot of sportsmen and women have crashed from grace to grass because of drug doping. That one is an irrebuttable fact. 2, some of these drugs are household, what we use in the around. They are not criminalized. They cannot be criminalized. Cola nuts, coffee, and others. They cannot. Yes, sir. If you want to,
Cola nuts is.
did you eat cola nuts, sir?
I don't know.
Please, if you try it, you will call me and tell me you could not sleep for days. Have you taken a Fearless
I don't.
energy drink?
I don't do energy drink.
Energy drink. What did they used to do it? This extraction of cola nuts. It's extraction from cola nuts. Sincerely speaking, even coffee, if you are not careful, your BP will go up. And alcohol,
Those are just stimulants.
they are stimulants, but they are dangerous. They are dangerous. Now, our body morphology differs. My body always differs. I may say, but eventually I take 4 bottles, you take 5 or 2 bottles. It may have more effect on you than me. And the end result is what? It damages what? The kidney that does filtration and other things, and the liver. And before you know, we start having what you call the kidney failure and what you call referred to as liver cirrhosis. And once you have that under this present situation, how do you treat yourself? No. How do you treat yourself? And maybe it requires transplant. How do you do a transplant? What will it cost you to do a transplant? So it's better to avoid it. There are different types, all manner of drugs.
What are some of your most interesting experiences in the most recent years? Because when you started out, I'm sure it must have been Igbo everybody was looking at, you know. But now there are so very many varieties. So what are some of the interesting experiences?
There's one of these, or most of these experiences that, let's say imagine trends. There's something we refer to as laughing gas. It's a new discovery. Gas.
Yes.
We arrested 2 containers at Tinkan and Apapa port. And that was why I said, my men are there. If let's assume it escaped us, it will come here. Some will be left behind, others will go elsewhere. But they are trying to build drug dealers, don't stay in a particular place. They build markets. They distribute, they have networks. And it's well coordinated. And it's a crime beyond national borders.
What is laughing gas?
Laughing gas is like what I would refer to as gas used either for industrial purpose or for domestic purpose. Like you hitting up a balloon. Some of these gases, they use this welder, they do welder work. Those welder, they do like your car exhaust has issue, go and weld. Those people are using it now. So they are modern trend, and that is due to modernity. People are running away from the one we know, Igbo. Do you know why I say so? It's cheap. It's available everywhere. But the problem is, if anyone smokes Igbo here now, the next person will say, you quickly, But we have modern, hybrid cannabis, like cannabis indica from Canada and America. The THC level is not as high as that of ours. And they are used medically there for treatment of glaucoma, maybe excruciating pains, maybe for someone having terminal diseases, then for surgery. Medical, they recommend that over there. But our law here, the NDLEA Act, criminalizes it. The only drug that you can take is cola nuts, alcohol, coffee, snuff, tobacco is allowed. It's allowed. Even alcohol, if you don't take it with moderation, it will tell on you. And apart from that, you will be hazard or harm. You can do harm to your family member and the society. Like, for example, a drunken driver. What do you think will happen? We hear hit and run, or kill a lot of people, or crash the vehicle. So that's why they are all categorized as drugs, but they are not, they are socially accepted. Thank you very much for receiving us. I'm honored. I'm sure, even in my bone, I can feel it, that you help us to propagate our cause, which is to fight against drug abuse and drug trafficking in the society. I want to use this opportunity to thank the chairman, African Newspaper PLC, management and staffs for receiving us. And I'm very sure, and I repeat again, I'm very sure you will help to disseminate information, requisite information about drug abuse and trafficking in the society. Also, you just mentioned about our NDLEA director, that you have a good working relation about the issue of arrest and seizure. Yes. And I think you will start educating the public about that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.